Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com. Breaking overnight, Russia's attacks continue with a strike on Ukraine's capital. And the murder case of a 16-year-old Edna cheerleader moves forward. The suspect set to appear in court this morning. Plus, the latest on the investigation as swatting incidents continue on college campuses across the country.
And if you saw rain yesterday, I hope you enjoyed it because the sun is coming back out today and tomorrow to heat us up back to the upper 90s. And if you don't like the heat, well, we still have a cool front in the forecast. We'll have that in the weather coming up.
And the Victoria East Titans gets up for a Friday night showdown with the Georgetown Eagles tomorrow night. We'll give you the full rundown, see who will be their starting quarterback going into tomorrow's clash later on in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning, Crossroads, and welcome to your Thursday morning. The countdown to Labor Day is on.
That's right. The countdown to Labor Day and the weekend is on. Tomorrow is Friday. Y'all get excited, but the countdown is also on to a cool front. Now, I know a lot of y'all heard about that. It's not going to be a big one, y'all, so don't get super excited, but we're going to look at that later, I promise. Because starting out the day, looking live in Victoria, we got another warm and humid one out there like we always are. Look at the cloud cover in the background. Looks pretty, doesn't it? Starting out the day at about 74 degrees for the air temperature, but dew point is matching that temperature, bringing us 100% humidity. And y'all know what that means being down here on the coast. That means we have a little bit of fog. And right now, it's really, really light with a little bit of mixing in the air thanks to high pressure overhead. That means that's bringing our visibility down to just 5 miles. So pretty light this morning, nothing to worry about. Otherwise, you don't have to worry about rain. There's nothing out there really right now, just a couple showers. We'll look at it after this because yesterday, we actually saw a decent amount of rain in some areas, as high as 2 3/4 of an inch, and that was near Ganado. But you can see in Victoria County, that was about 50% right on the money for what I was thinking. Some parts of the county saw it, some didn't. The city, I'm included in that. We didn't see any rain, unfortunately. And the same thing, like I was saying, right now, not too much rain out there, except for just a couple isolated showers in our eastern counties. So if you're sending your kids out the door this morning, I'd pack them the sunglasses. It's going to be a sunny and a bit of a hot one. We'll have all those details next.
Breaking overnight, Russia strikes Ukraine. This morning, rescuers in Kyiv continue their efforts to remove rubble in an attempt to search for survivors. The attack included a rare strike in the center of the city, killing at least 15 people and wounding 48. It was the first major Russian combined attack on Kyiv in weeks as U.S.-led peace efforts to end the 3-year war struggled to gain traction. It's one of the few times strikes have reached the heart of the Ukrainian capital since the start of the full-scale invasion. The man accused of murdering a 16-year-old Edna cheerleader is set to appear today for a hearing to review evidence in the case. Attorneys for Rafael Romero and prosecutors examined videos, including footage of a Texas Ranger searching Romero's room and interviewing him. Romero's attorneys requested additional time to review translations of the videos. Today, the judge will decide whether the evidence will be presented before a jury at trial. The court will also confirm all Spanish translations are accurate. Romero is accused of murdering 16-year-old Lisbeth Medina in December of 2023. The murder trial is set for October 27th. A Yoakum family is grieving not only the loss of their teenage son, but also a betrayal of their trust. Investigators accuse former Eisele ISD principal Jody Mildred Thompson of misleading the Kremling family after the death of their son Kobe in a construction accident. Thompson started a GoFundMe shortly after Kobe's death, telling the family the money raised would go toward his funeral expenses. But months later, the Kremlings learned from Lavaca County investigators that those funds were never used for the funeral. Instead, authorities say Thompson kept the money for herself.
It's heartbreaking. It's not even about the money. It's the fact that
she was there.
That
is so shattering to think that this person that you trusted, that, you know, it was my boss, would do something like that.
Kobe was 17 years old when he was killed in February while working with his cousin on a building project. His family says the building collapsed while Cody was drilling, killing him instantly. The family says Cody was full of life. He loved laughing, spending time with family, and enjoying the country life. They also say they want to continue to fight for justice, adding that no grieving family should ever have to go through this. Yesterday, Jody Thompson turned herself in to the Lavaca County Sheriff's Office on an outstanding arrest warrant. She was released a short time later on a $5,000 bond. The city of Cuero is keeping a close eye on its water supply. City Manager Wayne Berger says the system runs on 4 wells, 3 treatment plants, and 10 testing sites checked daily to ensure chlorine levels stay right where they should be, between 1.5 and 3 milliliters. If levels dip, Berger says they'll flush the system more often than usual.
We try our best every day. It starts as a team. It's a team effort. We have great employees that monitor the water, treat the water. We all live in the city. I live in the city. I want to make sure that everybody has good quality drinking water.
Chlorine can drop depending on temperature, but Berger says if Cuero ever faced a boil water notice, the city would work with the TCEQ and get the word out fast, likely through social media. In the meantime, anyone with water issues is encouraged to call City Hall. 2 children are dead after a gunman opened fire at a Catholic school during morning mass on the south side of Minneapolis. Police say 17 others, including 14 children, were injured in the mass shooting. Police have identified the shooter as 23-year-old Robin Westman, who died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The 3 weapons used in the shooting were all purchased recently and legally. Yesterday evening, following the shooting, a candlelight vigil was held in Minneapolis. As you can see, several hundreds, if not thousands, of community members joined as a solemn reminder of the lives lost. Now to new details about who's behind a series of security scares on college campuses nationwide. Here's ABC's Ika Joshi.
This morning, as police in Minneapolis investigate the nation's most recent school shooting, college campuses across the country are grappling with active shooter hoaxes.
We were eating and me and him went to go throw out our garbage and we saw the active shooter alert, so everybody started running off.
In recent days, police flooding the University of South Carolina, the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, and Villanova.
We didn't hear anything, didn't see anything. An officer came in with his pistol drawn, asked us if we heard any gunshots. We said no. He said, pack everything up that you have, get out of the building.
A swatting group called Purgatory is believed to be behind those hoax calls and nearly a dozen others, resulting in lockdowns and, in some cases, panic.
Purgatory is a group of young people that are located in various countries. They come together online and they operate as an organized cell, target engaging in swatting for hire or swatting for their own purposes, to include gaining notoriety. They want to gain notoriety so others will hire them for more swatting.
At least 10 hoax calls to universities were apparently made using Google Voice services. The calls even featured the sound of gunshots. The Purgatory Group is said to offer its followers a menu of services, charging as little as $20 for each hoax threat.
In some cases, those engaging in swatting are young. They are teenagers. I've seen cases where they've been in high school. They will sometimes get paid to swat, often not for a lot of money, but they really do it for the notoriety. They do it for the thrill.
Ika Joshi, ABC News, New York.
The Texas A&M University System Board of Regents will meet this morning to name an interim president for A&M Victoria. The last president of the University of Houston Victoria, Bob Glenn, retired this month. Governor Greg Abbott signed the Senate bill moving the school from the University of Houston system into the Texas A&M University system last week. Under the new law, UHV will officially become A&M Victoria on Monday, making it the 12th university in the A&M system. Remember, follow us on YouTube, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click that notification bell. The time now, let's get a look at our clock up here. It's 6:39 on our Thursday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up next on 25 News Now Sunrise. We take a look at the status of a hospital expansion and construction project.
Remembering the lives lost in the Catholic school shooting in Minneapolis. I'm Nicole D'Antonio in Washington with details on the young victims.
And also coming up next after the break, in the short-term forecast, you heard me say the sun is coming back out today and tomorrow to heat us up. So coming up next, I'll tell you just how hot I think it'll be near you. Well, good morning, Crossroads, and happy Thursday. For your Thursday, I hope you all enjoyed the rain yesterday, Wednesday, because, like I said earlier, the sun is coming back out. So pack your sunglasses today, why don't you? Because looking at where it's coming from, you can see on satellite just how crystal clear the glass, big, beautiful Texas is. All that thanks to right about here. Right over West Texas, there is a clockwise spinning motion. That is high pressure, upper level high pressure, which is sitting at about mile, 2 miles above our heads. That's nothing but a dry air mass that's coming from the Rocky Mountains, bringing us the sunshine for the next few days and lower 10% rain chances. But as we look to the future, to the weekend that is, we still have some good news for y'all. We are still tracking this cool front that will be coming our way for Sunday night into Monday. And it's going to be coming off of these two low pressure systems right here, one of which is actually a tropical storm. We'll look at all that later because that's going to move over that high pressure ridge, like I said, later. Because before that gets here, we got to deal with the heat first. And heat is it will be a little bit of a hot one out there today. So y'all please stay safe and hydrated. All that will be thanks to lots of beaming Texas sunshine on your future tracker. You can see that right here. Maybe just a few passing clouds out there today. So like I said, grab your sunglasses. No need for an umbrella today. Chances are going to be at a low 10% for maybe 1 or 2 possible showers somewhere between 2 to 4 p.m. somewhere around the area. Can't guarantee that because everybody else, I can guarantee it'll be sunny. Bringing us highs in the upper 90s. Thinking 97 here in Victoria, which is 3 degrees above where we're supposed to be. Everyone else, low 90s at noontime, but everybody else will see highs in the upper 90s. And that'll stay consistent for tomorrow, Friday. And then the rain and the front get here for the weekend. And we're going to look at that next.
The Victoria East Titans, they face the Georgetown Eagles at home for tomorrow's big-time clash there for Week 1 action. The Titans last year went 3-7, had to endure a lot of growing pains under second-year head coach now in John Ford. And that, knowing that they had that last year, they're hoping to get some big-time wins going into this year because they had a quarterback battle going through the rest of the way. But yesterday, I actually caught up with Coach Ford. He actually told me who they think their starter will be, at least for week number 1, and what he expects out of him and the team there this season.
Right now, leaning toward the experience that Dedrick Callis is going to bring. He's played varsity football before, so he's going to come out and get the nod at starter. But they both have really different styles and abilities, and so we're looking for the best fit, and then of course we have to fit what they're best at in our system.
Like Ford said, he's going to try to find some good playmakers to help out Callis because he's more of a running type of quarterback that's going to be there for this team. And again, they still have another quarterback on the roster. So again, not totally settled, but they're going for Callis for Week 1, and they're hoping that can get a big-time win and a home opener there against the Georgetown Eagles tomorrow night. This is Max Williams, 25 News Now Sports.
This morning, family and friends honor the victims of a fatal school shooting in Minneapolis. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio is in Washington with the story.
This morning, a community grieving after a shooter opened fire at a Minneapolis Catholic school church, killing 2 children and injuring 17 others. Overnight, vigils across Minneapolis honoring the 8-year-old and 10-year-old children who were shot and killed. Police say they were sitting in pews for morning prayer when a gunman opened fire through the church windows of Annunciation Catholic School.
I was just at church, and I heard something like really loud, like I thought it was fireworks in the church, and then I saw the shooting, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared.
10-year-old Weston says he hid in the pews and his friend dove on top of him during the gunfire, likely saving his life.
My friend got hit in the back.
Did he go to the hospital?
Yeah, he went to the hospital.
What went through your mind when you saw that?
I was super scared for him. My mom was waiting outside of the church when it happened. I was super happy because, I was scared that I wasn't going to see her because I didn't know what was happening, really. I was just in shock.
Among the 17 people injured, a majority of them were children as young as 6 years old, according to police. The mayor of Minneapolis thanked teachers and staff for their heroic actions during the shooting, but also demanded action.
While thoughts and prayers are great, they are not adequate. These children were literally praying at this moment.
The Minneapolis police chief saying the shooter, identified as 23-year-old Robin Westman, was reportedly armed with a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. And officials say the suspect used them all. All 3 weapons were purchased legally and recently, according to police. The police chief says all of the injured children are expected to survive. The FBI is now investigating the shooting as an act of domestic terrorism and a hate crime targeting Catholics. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
And that leads us to your viewer poll. We want to know, do you believe current gun laws are enough to prevent school shootings? 61% of you say yes and 39% of you say no. And we have some additional comments from our viewers on this question. Tabitha says one has nothing to do with the other. We have a mental health problem, a people problem, not a gun law problem. That's from Tabitha of Yorktown. Scott of Victoria says you can legislate the evil out of people's hearts. And we have another comment. This is from Daryl Barnes of Victoria. Daryl says we absolutely have a gun law problem in this country. Putting more guns with this gun problem, we have leads to more shootings, clearly. And we have another comment. This is from Terry of Victoria. Terry says automatic and semi-automatic weapons serve one purpose, to exact multiple casualties. They were created for that purpose and need to be banned. Thank you for taking part in our viewer poll. Citizens Medical Center is moving forward with a $10 million funding request to keep expansion projects on track. The board approved a plan with Victoria County that gives them access to low-interest, long-term financing without needing voter approval. CEO Michael Olson says construction has faced a few surprises, like relocating a hidden sewer line, but the project should still wrap up by late January. Upgrades include a new ICU with hurricane-proof glass and a chemotherapy infusion center with scenic views. Starting in September, ICU access will shift to make way for construction. The time is now 6:48 on our Thursday morning. Still to come on Sunrise, the latest on the attempted ousting at a federal health agency. All right, it's time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Angela. Happy birthday to Victoria Television alumni Angela. Hope you have a great day. We miss those cookies.
Oh, yes, we do. Happy birthday, Angela. And also a very happy birthday to the best-selling female artist in country music history. Shania Twain is 60 today. Happy birthday, Shania. And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, you can come to crossroadstoday.com. Just click the drop-down menu, then click the Home tab, and then you'll see Submit Your Birthday Photo.
It's now 6:49 on our Thursday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today.
That's right. Happy birthday. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Just a few moments ago, or you heard me talking about it all week long, we still have a cool front in the forecast for this weekend, and it should make us feel just a little bit quote unquote cooler for next week. We're talking highs dropping from the upper 90s, which we will be for the next few days, all the way down to the low 90s, maybe even the upper 80s for some lucky individuals out there. And that'll also be accompanied with some higher rain chances, be at 40% for Labor Day Monday of next week, and also a nice 50% for Sunday, 30% for Saturday. Maybe you'll see some isolated showers before that front gets here. All that thanks to a lift ahead of that frontal boundary. Now, timing all of that out, it'll be here on Sunday night, I think. Sometime Sunday night all the way through Monday morning. I think that's when it's going to pass through us. You'll notice that when the wind shifts out of the north-northeast, you can see it right here. That'll drop our temperatures, like I said, upper 90s down into the low 90s, maybe even upper 80s for some, also thanks to the rain that should be falling around the area. Before, as we go into later next week, that front will dissolve and the southerly wind will return late next week, and then we're right back to the heat. So y'all enjoy this front. You can actually see this right here a little bit better on the future temperature anomalies map, and this is nothing other than the temperature difference than the average temperature this time of year. So you can see some parts of Texas will be as low as 10 to 15 degrees below where they're supposed to be this time of year. We're going to be about 2 to 3 degrees below, but with a 50% rain chance and 40% chance. Another anomaly, there's nothing really happening out there in the Atlantic except for this wave, which we'll watch more next week, and we'll have more later on Sunrise.
Now to the breaking news overnight from the CDC. More top officials resigning after the director was fired, apparently because of a dispute over vaccine policy. Here's ABC's Allison Cossack.
This morning, the Centers for Disease Control in chaos. The agency's director, Susan Menares, chosen by President Trump, has been fired only weeks into the job after reportedly disagreeing with Health Secretary Robert Kennedy about vaccine policy.
You know, the CDC has been our gold standard agency for many years, and now we're not sure we can trust it.
Menares' lawyers say she was told to quit or be fired. They say she refused to rubber stamp unscientific, reckless directives and fire dedicated health experts. At least 4 other top CDC officials have now resigned. One writing, "I am not able to serve in this role any longer because of the ongoing weaponizing of public health." Menares is known as a staunch supporter of vaccines. Her ouster comes as Kennedy, a vaccine skeptic, moves to reshape the government's approach to vaccines. Just yesterday, limiting who's now eligible for COVID-19 shots to only seniors and people with underlying medical conditions. Kennedy recently pulling funding for the mRNA vaccine platform, questioning the vaccine's effectiveness. Many in the medical community voicing concern.
He has not only undermined the things he says he wants to do, but he has dramatically reduced the research that's necessary to get there. He's dramatically cut the funding for some of the very programs that he says he wants to promote.
Overnight, a source telling ABC News Kennedy asked Menares to commit to changes in vaccine policy. Kennedy, the source says, was also critical of the CDC, claiming that there's widespread corruption within the agency. Because Menares was confirmed by the Senate, her firing must come from the president. Her lawyer says she will not accept the notification she received from a White House staffer, calling it legally deficient. In the meantime, Senator Bill Cassidy, a medical doctor, says a Senate committee will look into this staff shakeup. Allison Kosick, ABC News, New York.
Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. We get an update on a journalist detained by a federal agency. A high-stakes legal battle in Georgia will decide the fate of journalist Mario Guevara, who's been held for over 2 months. Guevara was arrested in June while covering a protest near Atlanta. Prosecutors dropped all charges, but ICE kept him detained, moving him between centers. His lawyers say he's authorized to work in the U.S., though he lacks permanent resident status. A major shift at Florida's controversial immigrant detention center in the Everglades. According to a New York Times report, the facility known as Alligator Alcatraz is quickly emptying out. Florida's emergency management director recently said the population could be down to 0 within days. The decline comes after a federal judge ordered the center be shut down over environmental concerns. We want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. And now let's take a look at a shadow that Parker is detecting in our sunrise this morning.
That's
Parker,
right.
What's that shadow mean?
That's right. You see this one tiny little cloud that is rogue, unlike the rest of the sky, which is pretty sunny. That right there is a little shower, a bit of a tall shower actually, right along the coast. We're going to look at that radar right after this. I just thought that's such a cool picture. You can see the rest of the sky is sunny, and we have right smack dab in the middle of the picture a shower. But 74 is what we're starting at in Victoria. Dew point is matching that, bringing us 100% humidity, and you know what that means. It means we have a little bit of light fog out there, so don't worry about that. And also don't worry about the rain. You can see radar is looking mostly clear for most of us out there, except for that one shower that we were just looking at. The camera is facing southeast, so we're looking at this shower right here over Palacios. Palacios is getting a good amount of rain right now, but I want to let y'all know this radar is going to be looking pretty clear for the rest of today. Chances are only at a low 10%, and that'll happen between, I'm thinking, 2 to 4 p.m., maybe a couple showers forming out there. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty sunny for everybody else. High 96 today in Port Lavaca, maybe even 97. Same thing in Victoria, 97, maybe even 98. And in Cuero, I'm thinking 98, maybe even 99. So y'all please stay safe in the heat. There will be a little bit of a scorcher out there for the next 48 hours before the front gets here and the rain this weekend.
Thank you for being with us this morning. Join Shannon Don McClovia today at 25 at 5, 6, and 10. Have a great day.